Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of baseball here on the USPBL YouTube channel. Tonight, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers will battle the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers in another cross-conference matchup. Hi, everybody. My name is Leo Ortel, and I'll be joined shortly by my broadcast partner, Rich Borland, to bring you the call for another WCSX Classic Rock Saturday and Beatlemania with Toppermost, the Beatles tribute band, here at Jimmy John's Field. Last night, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers hopped all over the Unicorns with an 8-3 victory. Bradley Tout started on the mound for Eastside and earned the win as he threw 6 innings of 2-run baseball, as Tyler Tamaka threw 3 innings of 1-run baseball to earn the save, and actually a big shout out to Tamaka as it is his birthday today. Offensively, Pat Adams led the way with a 3-run home run and also reached base in all 5 of his plate appearances with that home run, a hit by pitch, and also 3 walks. Wesley Jones also tallied a 3-hit game to help the Hoppers move to a 10-11 record, which is now tied for second in the league with the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Birmingham Bloomfield comes into this game with a league-worst 9-11 record, but that doesn't mean a lot with how close the standings have been. After losing 7-5 to the Unicorns in a non-public affair on Tuesday afternoon, the Beavers will look to get back into the win column. Chris Newell, the skipper of the Beavers, gives the nod to Jimmy Fitzgerald as it looks like it will be a bullpen game for the Beavers. Fitzgerald will be making his first USPBL start as he has currently tallied 3 1/3 innings of work in 3 relief appearances. Although Fitzgerald was used as a starting pitcher at Salve Regina University, the Beavers have a well-rested bullpen after not playing since Tuesday, which should give them some confidence going into the game. On the other end, Eastside will send Noah Goetzies to the bump, and he'll be making his 7th start of the season. Goetzies currently owns a 2-0 record with a 2.89 ERA over 28 innings of work and has walked just 5 batters while striking out 24. Since losing Luis Contreras to the Milwaukee Brewers organization, Goetzies has fit in nicely as their new ace at the top of their pitching staff. The Hoppers' offense was impressive last night with 8 runs on 12 hits, but they will try to limit strikeouts at the plate tonight, as 15 out of their 27 outs were via the strikeout last night. In 6 head-to-head matchups so far this season, both teams have 3 wins. The run differential is only 1 as the Hoppers have outscored the Beavers 32-31. In fact, matchups between these two teams have been so close this season, 6 out of the 7 games have been decided by 2 runs or less, so we should be in for a good one tonight. And now I'm going to send it over to Rich to dive into tonight's starting pitcher matchup and the lineups for each team. Rich?
Yeah, so if you're taking a look at these 2 pitchers on the bump, you said in the pregame show here, Leo, that the Beavers are going to go kind of with a bullpen day, so already a advantage for Eastside with their guy Goetzies up there on the bump. Of course, like you said, with Luis Contreras going to the Milwaukee Brewers organization, Goetzies is their guy. The only other starters for Eastside at the moment, taking a quick look down the list, I mean, you have Tout, who pitched well last night. He's been a bright spot as of late, joining this team with only 3 starts now, but really fitting into that role, helping out for the injured Colby Neely. He's going to be okay in about a week or 2. I just talked with him down in the field, but he's off for a couple of weekends. But other than that, it's pretty much Tout and Goetzies for Eastside, and it's going to have to be Noah's turn tonight to try and really mow down the competition in one of the toughest lineups to go after, as, of course, you have guys like Haffey and Gauthier going back-to-back in the 3-4 spot tonight for Birmingham Bloomfield. That's going to be the toughest test for Goetzies. Overall, for the Regis University product, Noah Goetzies out of Phoenix, Arizona. He's thrown 419 pitches this year, 296 of them for strikes, so he throws strikes 71% of the time, and even better, almost on first pitch. He throws it 68% of the time for strikes. And then also, in a full count, he's thrown 18 strikes to 1 ball. Hitters just 2 of 9 when it matters most with the full count. He's got a 2-seam fastball that he throws about 40% of the time, a changeup that he throws about a quarter of the time, a curveball the 5th of the time, and a cutter that he likes to mix in about 13% of the time. Jimmy Fitzgerald, meanwhile, making his USPBL starting debuts. He's got 3 relief outings on the year. He's only thrown 80 pitches so far against the competition, and the ratio not that good, 44 strikes to 36 balls. Overall, numbers that Jimmy Fitzgerald is going to want to have to get up tonight. His batters are hitting .375 against him in just 3 1/3 innings pitched. So we'll see how long he can fare tonight against the lineup that hasn't done much this year, but last night they put up an 8 spot on Utica, as overall it'll be Pat Adams that gets against Westside last night in their victory over them 8-3. Adams, he's going to be their guy to go to at the top of the lineup. We'll start off with them as they are the visiting team. The 10-11 Eastside Diamond Hoppers, they'll put Pat Adams in center field. He leads the league in plenty of categories, but the biggest stat for him, Hoppers have played in 22 games, and he has reached base safely in every single one of them. He also has a 9-game hitting streak on the line tonight, leads the league with a batting average of .392 and on-base percentage of .540. The list goes on for Pat Adams, the Wayne State product out of Warren, Michigan, just a little bit down the road. As Wesley Jones will bat second at third base. He was 3 for 5 last night. Luke Johnson batting third. C.J. Huntley in the cleanup spot this evening. The top 4 stays the same from last night, but a new face in the 5 spot, that's Daniel Valerio. He was batting 6th last night, went 0 for 5, but he gets moved up a spot tonight. And then Freddie Geely drops his spot as he was batting 5th. He's now in the 6th hole tonight, as he was 1 for 3 last night with a single and 2 walks. Batting 7th, Tommy Lukongo. He moves up from the 8th spot from last night, and he was 2 for 2 with a double, a single, a walk, and a sacrifice flyout. He's 3rd in the league with 15 runs scored. Stephen Ring, the only player in this lineup that did not start last night. He's in the 8th spot. He's playing first. And then Kevin Watley rounding out the lineup for Eastside at shortstop, as he is each and every day the 2018 Defensive Player of the Year in the USPBL. And then on the other end of it, for the Beavers coming into action today with that 9-11 record, as they will put Alec Olin as the leadoff man in this one. Olin, the right fielder, he is batting on the season. Alec Olin for Birmingham Bloomfield. He's done really well as of late. Overall, batting .274 on the season through 17 starts. Justin Wiley, one of the new faces, he's batting second and playing second. Ross Haffey, the man who leads the league in slugging percentage of a massive .628, an unheard of stat. He is batting 3rd at first base. Adam Gauthier, for the first time all season, not batting in the 6th spot. He's done enough in terms of Chris Newell's mind that he's going to move up into the cleanup spot, and that's going to be a very, very tough couple of outs with Haffey and him back-to-back. Justin Kelly, he's the designated hitter tonight. He's batting 5th. He was batting 3rd on the Tuesday non-public game, went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. A newcomer out of Boston College, the shortstop, number 2, Anthony Maselli. He's batting 6th. We'll hear more about him tonight. T.J. Ward, the man who had his first home run of the season just a couple of days ago in the non-public game. Happy to see him turn things around there, as he's batting, of course, in the 7th spot at third base. Austin Farr, the 2018 Coastal Plain Hitter of the Year with the High Point Thomasville High Toms. He's in left field tonight. He started off in the infield when he first got here and then went to DH, but outfield is his predominant position, so expect to see big things from Austin Farr tonight. He's batting 8th. And then Nick Campana, who did not get the start on Tuesday against Utica. He's batting 9th and playing center field. So you see 18 names come across your dial there, Leo. Do me a favor and pick your stick for tonight.
Well, I guess the easy choice would be Pat Adams. I'm actually going to go with the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers tonight, though. Ross Haffey has reached base in all 12 games that he's played this season. Comes in with some great stats, 3 home runs, a .349 average, the 9th most RBIs in the league with 11, and he's only played 12 games, so he's played about half of the games here for the Beavers, but comes in with great numbers, so Ross Haffey is my selection for the pick to stick tonight.
So you're going to go with Haffey. I took C.J. Huntley last night. Who do I take tonight? I'm going to go with the veteran. Let's go with the man who had it was a perfect night last night. Tommy Lukongo was 2 for 2 with the double, single, walk, and sacrifice. We're going to take the veteran out of St. Bonaventure for my pick to stick. So we'll head down to the field, our national anthem coming up right now, and when we come back, we got USPBL baseball. First pitch, Hoppers, Beavers, on tap.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field, where today presenting the colors for tonight's game will be the Rochester Police Honor Guard. As a reminder, please remain standing until the colors have been retired after our national anthem. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your hats on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with a singing of our national anthem sponsored by the Detroit Medical Center DMC and performed tonight by the Shelby Junior Choir.
Oh, say, can you
right, color guard is off the field. That means it's time for baseball here on this WCSX Classic Rock Saturday. As Rich Borland, Leo Ortel joining you here for another one on the USPBL YouTube channel. Appreciate all you joining us. Good one on tap tonight as the Eastside Diamond Hoppers coming off of their big victory last night over Westside. Trying to get another win here tonight against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, who will push a bullpen worth here as Jimmy Fitzgerald, the starter, the lefty, getting things going for Birmingham Bloomfield. Leo, try to give these fans some type of idea of what they can expect from a guy that honestly we haven't really seen too much of, but you got to think he's a lefty, so he does have that going for him.
That's right. The Beavers do have a couple of good left-handers on their staff, one of them in Jerry Salisbury, but Jimmy Fitzgerald hasn't had a lot of stats so far this year as he's only thrown 3 1/3 innings. He's walked 3 batters, given up 3 runs, tallied 3 strikeouts, and the opponents are hitting .375 against him, so it's not a large sample size. The numbers aren't much, but it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do in his first start here. Fitzgerald was used primarily as a starter at Salve Regina University, which is only Division III NCAA ball, but he put up pretty good numbers there. In 35 games over his 4 years, he tallied a 10-4 record with a 3.59 ERA in 123 innings, a great strikeout to walk ratio, 156 Ks to just 62 walks. So he is a guy that is going to throw strikes. Maybe his stats don't show it this season, but he's a guy that definitely likes to pitch to contact and will rack up a decent amount of strikeouts. So it is going to be interesting to see what we see from Fitzgerald tonight. He's going to be going up against a very good starting pitcher, Noah Goetze, and more importantly for Fitzgerald, a really good Hoppers lineup lately. They put up the 12 hits yesterday against the Unicorns. They did strike out 15 times, but with Pat Adams, Wesley Jones, and Luke Johnson at the top, this has got to be one of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah, in the last 10 games, Hoppers 4-6, Beavers the opposite, 6-4. Hoppers coming into this one at 10-11, Beavers at 9-10 in this one as we get ready for another night of baseball here at Jimmy John's Field. Jimmy Fitzgerald ready to start his night for however long that will be. We are not sure, as we were told by our operations that, of course, it'll be a bullpen day for them, so we'll see exactly how things go. But overall, we are ready to start this one on this WCSX Classic Rock Saturday. Is the man of the hour, the man of the league thus far, Pat Adams, the Wayne State product, having a whale of a season thus far, playing in his 23rd game with Eastside, and of course he's reached base safely in all 22 of them. A .392 batting average, of course, best in the league, the best on base percentage, which is sitting, of course, at .540 on the season. He's got 3 stolen bases as well, but 14 RBIs, 29 hits, 17 runs scored. Pat Adams doing everything here up at the plate. He's got 2 more walks than strikeouts on the season with 23 of those. And he looks at the first pitch for a fastball. 4 called strike 1, 7:08. Your first pitch time there. It's 86 degrees, partly cloudy here in Utica. Perfect night at the ballpark as the second pitch of the battle looks as if it was called a foul ball by our home plate umpire, and in fact it is. So quickly 0-2 on Adams. Not the start to the at-bat you want, but if I'd like anybody to succeed with an 0-2 count at the moment, it's definitely this man up at the plate batting from the left side. The breaking ball misses away at 76. Good pitch there from Fitzgerald. He'll throw that curveball about 24% of the time. But that 4-seam fastball up there at 70%. Now, of course, we're going off of 3 relief outings, this being his first start. We'll see exactly how he can do. Pat Adams had a great season thus far. Jimmy Fitzgerald not so much, but Fitzgerald getting the best of the first batter, and that's a good sign for Birmingham Bloomfield. They'll need every out they can get going at it as a bullpen staff.
It's going to be interesting to see how Fitzgerald approaches this lineup. It's primarily right-handed batters. The only lefties in the lineup are Pat Adams, Freddie Geely, and Stephen Ring. So gets Pat Adams on the lefty-on-lefty matchup, but Wesley Jones, one of the best right-handed bats in this lineup. He's currently 3rd in hits in the league, coming in with 25, was 3 for 5 yesterday. He's had a pretty hot bat lately, but for Jones, it's really been just singles for him. He's slugging just .293, only 2 extra base hits, so you would like to see him maybe get those power numbers up, Rich.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's been consistent. The batting average continues to climb. Currently on a 6-game hitting streak at the moment. It's his longest streak for him, so he's definitely being consistent. Just has to get a little bit more extra base power to his game, and Wesley Jones will be everything you want in that 2 spot as he's ahead 3-0 in the count to start. Tied for 5th with 14 runs scored so far this season as he looks at the 3-0 for called strike 1. 3 for 5 with 3 singles. Did strike out in his 2 other at-bats last night. As Fitzgerald, the left-hander, the windup, the pitch. Fastball right down Broadway. It looked as if just 86 on the gun. Maybe the changeup that he throws occasionally, but a good count to throw it in. Catch him off guard on a 3-1. We'll see what he brings here. The payoff pitch. Fastball outside corner. Jimmy Fitzgerald, back-to-back looking strikeouts. He already has, count him, 2 Ks on the night, and he only had 3 strikeouts in 3 relief outings so far this year.
And his location's looking good already. Seems to be really in control of all of his pitches, and this is what Fitzgerald did in college. He struck out a lot of batters, 156 Ks over 123 innings, and only 62 walks. That's a ratio you definitely would like to see. And coming in, 3 strikeouts and 3 walks, but he's got the 2 strikeouts to start off the night for the Hoppers.
The first pitch to Luke Johnson at 89. It misses up and away. Johnson 1 for 5 last night. Singled and scored a run. Did strike out 3 times, though. Got the dreaded golden sombrero as he's ready for the 1-0 here from Fitzgerald. Inside at 80. Misses the zone. So he started Wesley Jones off with 3 straight balls and then threw 3 straight strikes. See exactly what he can do here on this 2-0 to the man who's batting .323 so far in his time with Eastside. And same story as it started off with Jones.
Yeah.
See if he can fight back in this count, or if Johnson will have to waltz his way to first with 2 outs. Those 2-out walks are dreadful as he has 3 walks in those 3 1/3 innings so far this season. 3-0 pitch. It does, in fact, miss by a lot at 86. 2-out walk is commenced, and Johnson, first base runner of the night for Eastside. We'll see if C.J. Huntley can take advantage of it with the runner on.
And we aren't really seeing an aggressive approach from the Hoppers so far. 2 strikeouts looking already, and then the walk to Luke Johnson. They're really not coming out swinging the bats normally like they do. Paul Noce had to have taken note of the 15 strikeouts yesterday against the Unicorns. I mean, you have to be happy with 12 hits and 8 runs, but when you strike out 15 times, that's not good news for your team. So it's a Hoppers team that maybe is going to take a few more pitches tonight.
The runner going to second, a good jump. Not a bad throw, but like we just said there, a better jump. Luke Johnson with the stolen base right there in total on the season. That's his 2nd stolen base and is in as many tries. Luke Johnson in just his 8th start on the season, already with the 2 stolen bases, helping that on-base percentage there with .364. We'll see if his teammate Huntley can come through with the runner in scoring position against the lefty Fitzgerald as the wind picks up a bit. The 0-1 breaking ball looked good, just missed by a hair inside. So the count evens up at 1-1 on Huntley. Last night, 1 for 4, single, run scored, RBI, hit a fly ball to center field and did strike out twice. Also reached on a fielder's choice. Long night there for the man who's batting .318 this season. Backdoor breaking ball at the 1-1. Really nasty pitch there from Fitzgerald. And I'll tell you what, Leo, if he can pitch like that tonight, who knows if it'll be a bullpen day. Maybe they'll let Fitzgerald go a little bit further into this one, maybe even the distance.
You never know. Back-to-back breaking balls. The first breaking ball that we saw from him in this at-bat kind of had a little bit too early of break on it. That last one, the opposite.
Hard hit ball over to T.J. Ward at third base. The throw in the dirt, but Haffey over there at the other corner helps his teammate out. 5-3 putout is recorded. The 2-out walk goes unscathed to Johnson. We head to the home half of the first. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. To the bottom of the first we go. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel with you, as it'll be Alec Olin, Justin Wiley, Ross Haffey due up to start the night against Noah Goetze, who gets Olin to foul off on the first try. Goetze will deliver a two-seam fastball at 40% of the time, as this one's lined into right field. Perfect spot, perfectly placed in between Geely and Ring for the first single of the day. First base hit overall. Good job there from Alec Olin, who could very well find himself in a nice place at the top of this order. Was in the 8th spot on Tuesday in the non-public game against Utica, but for the most part, one of the more consistent hitters on this team.
Yeah, the Beavers really haven't found their leadoff hitter yet. Nick Campana started off hot in the leadoff spot. He's kind of been struggling with his bat lately. And then Adon Ordonez had a couple of good games in the leadoff spot. He's not playing tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how Alec Olin fares at the top of the lineup, but 1 for 1, looking good so far.
As Justin Wiley stands in and then backs out on that first pitch from Noah Goetze as it misses up and in. Some sweet chin music from the right-hander. Goetze's, I was going into it, the two-seam at 40%, the changeup a quarter of the time. He throws the curveball 21% and the cutter 13%. A guy who really does well mixing up his pitches in different counts, as the 1-0. You saw the long stare from Goetze's after the result of that pitch. Thought he had it, but it misses just a hair inside. Good hitters count for Justin Wiley, the new face here in the USPBL.
And Wiley 1 for 6 so far in his USPBL career, but has reached base 5 times. He's got 4 walks, and he played D1 ball his senior year at Arizona.
This one popped up. Looks like it might have enough. Instead, it does, in fact, get into that first row, as Wiley will stay alive for at least one more. Yes, Arizona University, the Chandler, Arizona native, played for them just here in 2019, batted .341, had 5 home runs, 37 RBIs, a .449 on-base percentage, 15 doubles. Played at San Diego State University prior to that. A guy who we're excited to see, is still just a couple of games under his belt. It's a big fly. Looks like it should stay in the park, but the left fielder looks like he's got the best chance at it, and he will, as that is, of course, C.J. Huntley running that one down, throwing it into Geely at second for out number 1. Quickly, the defensive scheme for Paul Nochi's team. C.J. Huntley, just mentioned, in left. Pat Adams, your center fielder. Luke Johnson out there in right field. Wesley Jones at the hot corner. Kevin Watley every day at short. Freddie Geely at second. Stephen Ring getting the start in place of Zachary Gray at first base tonight. And then, of course, Lacongo, the battery mate, there with Noah Goetze, as the Hoppers rocking their all-black tops, gray bottoms, and the away unis, as Ross Haffey, your beer batter of the game, fouls out of play. He's down 0-1.
Ross Haffey also my pick the stick for tonight. And you can't really compare him, I guess, at this point to Pat Adams, but Haffey has reached base safely in all the games that he's played this season. It's only been 12 compared to Pat Adams' 22, but Haffey has really had a strong start to his career.
You see the base runner, Olin, going into the stolen base, and look at that. The hit and run working perfectly, but take a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Looked as if Olin, rounding second base, came up limping. Not sure if everybody saw that, but I know Chris Newell did, and he's going to go over there to talk to his man at third base, make sure he's all checked out.
Hopefully Olin's going to be okay, but great call there by Chris Newell. Ross Haffey knew what he had to do. When I saw him ground one over to the right side, I was thinking it's going to be an easy routine play for Geely, but Geely was covering the bag for the stolen base. Perfectly executed hit and run to give the Beavers a first and third situation with just 1 out.
So Goetze's in a little bit of trouble to start his night with 2 singles in 3 tries, and a world of trouble with Adam Gauthier standing in the cleanup spot for the first time all season. He'd been batting every day in the 6th hole, and look at that. First pitch swing, and he's ready to go. A base knock back up the middle. 3 singles out of 4 tries as Olin scores the first run of this ball game. Beavers out in front 1-0.
And Gauthier riding that 8-game hit streak coming in. He's really risen that batting average quite a bit, coming in at .333. It's really been the best bat in this Beavers lineup that's pretty much loaded, especially at this front half. Justin Kelly coming up, another big hitter potentially for the Beavers. Really hasn't shown off his power a whole lot yet, but is hitting .304. He hit 11 home runs at Wayne State this past season.
Yeah, Kelly, as he looks at a breaking ball, 4 called strike 1, mentioned Goetze throws that about 21% of the time. So far this season, Justin Kelly with 7 hits and 23 at-bats, 3 runs scored, Only the one RBI, though, with an opportunity to drive in 3 with one swing of the bat. Justin Kelly with his first home run as a Birmingham Bloomfield Beaver. No doubter. Off of the hand of Goatsies. Kelly gives the Beavers the 4-0 lead here in the first.
And right as we were talking about those power numbers, waiting for him to get that first career home run here in the USPBL. And, man, that was a shot. This Beavers lineup just loaded with power now. They only come in with 13 home runs, which is third in the league. But Halfier, Gauthier, and Kelly really provide the spark in this lineup. Already 4-0 Beavers in the first.
I think Chris Newell has found his 3-4-5 hitters
for sure.
in his lineup between Haffey, Gauthier, and Kelly. That's a really tough 1-2-3 punch, if you will. Is the newcomer Anthony Maselli out of Boston College looks at a called strike to begin his debut. Second pitch, curveball at 80, misses upstairs. Not enough bite to it. It evens up at 1-1.
Maselli attended Boston College, and he did struggle during his career there as he grounds one over to Goatsies. Should be an easy play, but Maselli, only a 185 hitter in college, but he did just come from the Evansville Otters of the Frontier League. He played for them for a couple of games this year, 242 average and 33 at-bats with 1 home run, but trying to make a name for himself in the league, can't do so right there.
I wanted to mention one thing. Goatsies obviously giving up the big fly there to the designated hitter tonight in Justin Kelly. Goatsies coming into play tonight. Overall, he's only given up in total, taking a quick look, 2 home runs in 28 innings pitched. That's a big fly there from Justin Kelly with 2 base runners on. As this one, a better pitch on the 2-0 count to TJ Ward, the next batter. In on the hands, and as he gets jammed, Pat Adams underneath it. Makes the catch for the third and final out, but the Beavers, with a 4 spot on 4 hits, give them the 4-0 lead through 1. We head to the second. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the second inning. Beavers with a comfortable 4-0 lead after Justin Kelly, the Wayne State alum, drives in 3 with one swing of the bat. Still waiting on the numbers from that home run, but it was a massive shot deep into the left center field gap as he gives the Beavers a comfortable lead after 1. Meanwhile, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for Eastside. Valerio, Geely, Lacongo, as Valerio on the 1-0 pitch fouls one out of play. Batted 6th last night against Utica. Went 0 for 5 with 2 Ks, a ground out, a pop out, and a fly out. Getting an out every which way. Looking to have none of those tonight as the 1-1 misses downstairs. Good stop from Gauthier, but nobody on.
So far, Fitzgerald is using that curveball quite a bit. It looked pretty good in that first inning. He just walked Luke Johnson. That was the only base runner that reached for the Hoppers, but tallied the 2 strikeouts, both of them looking to Pat Adams and Wesley Jones. And now you're out there with a comfortable 4-run lead. It makes it a little bit easier out there. And who knows if Chris Newell told Fitzgerald that this could be a short start for him, but he's going to do everything he can to be out there as long as possible. He has been working behind hitters, but still has been pretty effective. 3-1 count to Valerio.
As the 3-1 does in fact miss outside. Leadoff walk, never good, as that'll be the second walk of the day for the left-hander.
He walked Luke Johnson in that first inning, and Fitzgerald came in with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts over 3 1/3 innings. Did not walk a lot of batters in college, but seems to be having a little bit of problems with his control in this outing so far.
First pitch to Freddie Geely, the Troy, Michigan native, with a big cut and a big miss. He was 1 for 3 last night against Utica. Had a single, but also 2 walks. He and Valerio switching spots in the lineup card today, as you see Fitzgerald going over there to first base, but Valerio had a real good idea of it, saw it before it even happened. And Valerio is 1 for 1 on the base paths this year. Batting average not where he wants it to be, but perfect so far in between first and second. As Geely batting from the left side, we'll see what Fitzgerald's goes with. Fastball at 87 on a line to right field where Oland is. Barely has to move as Geely is retired for out number 1. Lacongo might pick the stick coming up to the plate.
And normally for a power hitter, the outfielders would be playing back, but Geely not known for his power. Alec Oland was shaded in, as were Campana and Farr in the outfield as well. So that's one that may fall if you're a power hitter, but just can't seem to fall for him, had him played perfectly.
We'll see if Lacongo can continue the perfectness from last night into today. Won't be an easy battle, though, with the shade there. Look at this, a pick over there to first. Both of the middle infielders wanting to make the tag, and it ends up causing a problem. As Valerio slides in safely, everybody and their brother thought he was going to be thrown out there, but both of those guys wanted to make that out at second base. Got to imagine that should have been the shortstop's ball, correct?
Definitely, yeah. When it's on that side of the infield, the shortstop should be covering the bag, but it kind of seemed like Justin Wiley, the second baseman, saw that Maselli, the shortstop, didn't see the play initially, so Wiley was just trying to rush over to cover for his teammate, but kind of a miscommunication. Obviously, Maselli making his USPBL debut, so Wiley also new in the league, 2 guys that really haven't worked together so far.
And that definitely has probably part of the reason that it happened. You know, both of these guys trying to make a name for themselves, make the play with the opportunity at hand, and in the end it ends up proving costly for them, and we'll see if it ends up turning into a run with Lacongo ahead in this count 2-0. Great hitters count. Got to be careful if you're Fitzgerald. Maybe go to that curveball for a strike, because you better believe Lacongo's expecting the fastball. The long look to second, comes home with it. That fastball misses at 86, low and away. So at this point in time, no green light. You got to get the take sign here. Possibly walk on 4 pitches to bring runners to first and second, but Fitzgerald, at the meantime, averaging a walk per inning, won't get his second of the inning here as he finds the zone. It's 3-1.
Lacongo, before the game yesterday, came in 0 for 7 in his last 7 at-bats, but did have 3 walks in that span. He was 2 for 2 yesterday with a couple of walks as well, and tied for second on the team in on-base percentage.
Looks like the tag was made by Ward, but in the end, Valerio getting in there safely again, and at this point, that's something that Fitzgerald, being the lefty, of course, having a tougher time with the runners from from second to third compared to first to second. And I think he was having the same looks at the base runners, and when you do that, your opposition's going to take note of it, and I bet you that's going to be the highlight of the conversation with Chris Newell coming out there to talk to him.
And how about the aggressive approach from manager Paul Nochi for the Hoppers? I mean, obviously Valerio could have been picked off in that situation, but he did what he was supposed to do. He kept on running to second, was able to slide in safely, and then after the walk here to Tommy Lukongo, advances to third on another stolen base. So he came in 1 for 1 in stolen bases. As I take a look at his college numbers, it didn't look like Valerio was much of a stolen base guy in college, but a couple of stolen bases could prove big for Steven Ring right here.
As he fouls off this pitch out of play. Runners on the corners. I like the aggressiveness from Eastside, and they're going to have to be with the way that Birmingham Bloomfield came swinging into this one. Sometimes you have to force the issue, but instead he gets caught in between, and Valerio stays over there on third. So a failed try there from Eastside as Steven Ring, meanwhile, down in this count quickly. 1-2 with 2 outs to the left-hander, Fitzgerald. A nasty curveball there at 72 miles an hour. Gets strikeout victim number 3 on the night as we head to the home half of the second. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Noah Goatee's back to work for his second try. Hopper's hoping that it's better than the first as he gets going. 17 pitches in that first frame. This ball hit back up the middle, but an opportunity for Pat Adams. Does he make the catch? Yes, he does.
Unbelievable.
Looked like that one might have gotten down for a second, but Pat Adams, not only can he do it at the plate, but he ends up running that one down for the first out. A big-time catch from a big-time player.
All right, he didn't get the best jump on the ball. It's tough right now out there in center field with the sun kind of beating down on you, but what a play by Pat Adams. Didn't get a good read, but somehow ends up making the catch.
Obviously, maybe at the higher levels would have went to replay for that one, but in the end, that one caught by Pat Adams, guy who can do it all, as Nick Campana stands in. First pitch fouled off into the netting. And for a guy who's, he was batting stellar numbers. He was the USPBL Player of the Week to start the year, but since then kind of fallen down. We're hoping to see the Nick Campana of old as he rolls over the curveball on the 0-1. But obviously had a little eye issue, that clearly having a lot to do with it. But day by day getting better and hoping that the results follow as he's down 0-2 here to Goatsees. The 89-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and missed for out number 2. And normally on an 0-2 count, you hope that the batter doesn't swing on a pitch like that because it was clearly nowhere near the zone. But in a situation for Campana, it looks as if he's trying too hard to make things happen instead of let them happen.
Exactly, and that's something we talked about before with him. He's obviously seen the decline in his numbers, something mechanically just not working for him as far as his swing. So maybe he'll look to change his approach later in this game, maybe try to take a few more pitches and work his way into good hitters count. But things just don't seem to be going Campana's way as of now.
Alec Olin, meanwhile, we mentioned he was rounding second, headed to third back in that first inning, and it looked like he was dealing with an ailment there. And now on the first pitch in his second at-bat, he fouls it off of his foot, sacrificing the body here at the top of the order, and he looks like he's in some severe pain at the moment, hoping that he's going to be able to stay in this one.
Yeah, it looks like he's maybe just trying to fight it off. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Maybe dealing with some tightness. Maybe try to stretch him out or something like that. But, yeah, Oland already 1 for 1 with the single. His first game in the leadoff spot here for the Beavers. This would be a big loss here at the top of their lineup. You can definitely tell he's trying to stay in this game. Competitor out there.
Looks like he's going to be okay. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that's... Those are never fun.
No.
That kind of feeling that you get in one of your toes. Maybe stay in for at least this at-bat and then call it a day. Who knows? But it looks like he's going to at least stay here for the moment. Down 0-1 in this count. But obviously Chris Newell going over there to check on his guy. And obviously if he says he's all right, he's going to stay in it. So we'll see what he can do against Goatsy. He's already a 1-2 inning thus far. Looking to get it a perfect 1-2-3 as the breaking ball misses upstairs.
And hopefully he can at least stay in as the DH. Justin Kelly is the current DH, but he can play some outfield, so we could see Kelly come in to play right field next inning, but only time will tell. 1-2 count here on Oland.
The 1-2 upstairs misses, so the count now even with the fastball. We've seen him miss a lot with the fastball upstairs tonight when he's ahead. Not sure if that's on purpose or not, as the breaking ball over there to Newell eats him up. But, of course, he's predominantly known for his hitting coaching compared to the defensive. I'll get into some stuff with him in the middle of July. I know you're going to end up going on a little is it a vacay or you just got some stuff you're doing, right?
A little expedition out east.
There you go. That's right. And Newell actually joined me on the broadcast for at least one game. Not sure if he's going to do it a couple of times, but he wants to give that managerial perspective, and that'll be right around the middle of July, so look forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
As Owen works the count full against Goatsies, hits one back up the middle. Watley charges it, but a tough hop as he won't be able to make the play. And got to imagine that this one will go down in the books as an E6. Saw one of those yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
From Watley, something that we're not used to, as the tough hop turns into the error. An unfortunate scenario there for the man out of Port Orchard, Washington.
Yeah, Watley had just one error after yesterday. Had the 2 now with 3. But Watley's error proved to be costly yesterday as a run did come around to score. But the Beavers now trying to put together a 2-out rally. Justin Wiley gets another crack at it.
First pitch breaking ball, we're seeing that a little bit here today, and not sure if that risen pitcher's mound, of course going up 2 inches from where it was last year as a part of the delivery value system in our baseball operation team, is Justin Orenduff, our director of baseball ops, saying that it has a lot to do with keeping these arms healthy, and only one major injury through the first couple of years to Devin Alexander back on Eastside's team, but he already had a lingering issue coming into his time at the USPBL, so for the most part, everything you want from a perspective from the front office as Wiley looks at ball 3, the third straight. Good try from Tommy Lukongo on the back pick, trying to get Alec Oland over there at first. You know he's not going anywhere after following that tough one off of his foot. But the 3-0 pitch finds the zone on the outside corner. Wiley was looking for ball 4, but Goatsy's not done with him just yet.
Now the fastball just doesn't seem to be there for Goatsy's tonight. Not only control, but also velocity. That last one coming in at 86, and Goatee's usually sitting around 88 to 92. So the velocity's down. The control's not where he wants it to be. And Goatee's did kind of struggle his past couple of starts, giving up, I believe, 3 earned runs in pretty short outings. One of them was against the Beavers, only 3 innings, 3 earned runs against them. And then on the 21st against the Mammoths, it was 3 runs over 6 innings in his first 4 outings as the runner takes off. And Wiley just gets a piece of it. In his first 4 outings this season, he gave up 1 earned run or less in all of those outings. So it's kind of been a struggle for Goatees, you could say, lately. And already the 4 earned runs, the most he's given up in any start this season already tonight.
And it all happened in the first inning, so we're hoping that he can at least manage the damage. Another payoff pitch here to Justin Wiley. Ground ball hit hard over there to the third baseman, Wesley Jones, and he cannot make the play. Not an easy play, but one that Wesley Jones, you would imagine, would be able to make.
Definitely.
As the inning will continue and Wiley reaches base safely. As I'm taking a quick look down the list, looks like they do give him the knock on the hard infield single. So, in the end, runners now on first and second, and Goatsy's going to have to throw more pitches. He had 1 less pitch than Fitzgerald in that first inning, but he gave up 4 more runs.
And this is just a tough inning for him. Probably should have been out of here 1, 2, 3. But the air to Watley, now a 2-out rally. Dangerous hitter standing in. Ross Haffey already 1 for 1 with the single. I picked the stick for tonight.
Also the beer batter of the game. If anybody's up in the suites or down in the bathrooms, you hear a big cheer. That means Ross Haffey gets another base knock. That means you get $5 craft beers down that third baseline. Opportunity for it, and it's going to get down. So we do, in fact, have more beer as this one thrown into home plate, but not in time, as coming in to score is Oland for the 5th run of the game for Birmingham Bloomfield. Wiley gets to second. Haffey over there to first with an RBI. Very good start here for Birmingham Bloomfield in this one against a guy in Goatsy's who really hasn't struggled so far this year, coming into today's action with the 2.89 ERA. But a tough night here for Eastside, coming off of that 5-run victory last night.
And defense isn't really picking him up much either. You probably couldn't see it on your screen, but Pat Adams did not get a good read on that ball. The sun is directly in his face there in center field, but it's a ball that he probably should have caught. He hesitated for it, took the first step back, then hesitated, and just didn't get a good read on it. It's one he could have caught. So also, Goatsy's not being backed up by his defense. Pitching and defense can take you a long way, but it's not working out for the Hoppers so far.
0-1 to Gauthier in the dirt, and it's wild to think that first pitch of the inning, that liner to Adams that was ruled it out, but we thought it might have gotten down. Imagine where Eastside would be in that situation if Farr did in fact reach.
Yeah, that would have been 2 runs across already, with one of the best run producers at the plate, and Gauthier, who already singled to center to drive in 1.
This one tailing out to right field. Johnson underneath it makes the catch for the 3rd and final out, but the Beavers do get a run on 2 hits and an error as they take the 5-0 lead into the 3rd. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to inning number 3. This one all Birmingham Bloomfield through the first 2. 4 runs in the first on a 3-run homer from Justin Kelly, and then 2 straight outs led to an error, and then 2 singles. Ross Haffey driving in the run with the knock in the second, as it'll be the bottom and then the top of the order due up for Eastside. Watley, Adams, Jones, a really good 1-2-3 in order as the bottom starts here. Backdoor breaking ball on the 1-1. Lot of movement on that pitch from Jimmy Fitzgerald. So much that he might be able to stay in this one. As we told you at the beginning of this broadcast that the Beavers were going to go into this one with an idea of having it being a bullpen day, as this one taken to right field up and out of play. Watley staying alive here, but Fitzgerald looking sharp.
He really is. We haven't really seen a lot of hard contact against them. Just the 2 walks to Luke Johnson and Tommy Lukongo. That's been it for the Hoppers as far as base runners. And with the way Fitzgerald's able to kind of mix his speeds up, his fastball usually comes in at about 88, and that curveball we've seen as low as 71, and it's got really good movement on it.
The 2-2 nowhere close at 85. Watley working the count full, so a good battle here to start off this top of the third. Fitzgerald the windup from the right side of the rubber. Fouling it off just enough was Watley. That would have been ball 4 for sure. But with 2 strikes, obviously you understand the attack plan at the plate, trying to make something happen here. But Hoppers will take a leadoff walk.
Still hard to tell if it's that changeup. That last one coming in at 84. Maybe he's taking something off the 4-seam just to try to find the strike zone on the 3-2. That one did have a little bit of tailing action on it, so that did look like a changeup coming in at 83. So Watley gets a piece of it again, putting together a good at-bat. Looks like he lost the bat there, too. Kind of flung out of his hands after the swing.
No matter what you do here, it's a great battle to start off this inning. Forced Fitzgerald to throw a bunch of pitches. He comes into this third inning with already 34 of them and 2 more balls than he had strikes. But no runs against, just the walks that are hurting you, but you're able to get these outs with the runners on. So in the end, that goose egg is all that matters.
It was a missed opportunity last inning for the Hoppers, too. They had runners in scoring position, first and third with 1 out. They couldn't get it done. Watley's good battle will end in a strikeout swinging.
So 1 up and 1 down. Fitzgerald starts the third as he ended the second with a swing and a miss. Now back to the top of the order in Pat Adams, who has reached base safely in 22 games, all 22 for Eastside, but he's 0 for 1 tonight. Something that we hadn't really talked about prior to this weekend, but now that it's known and we're talking about it, of course, we'll see if Pat Adams can continue that streak that he's been able to go on, trying to get his 10th straight game with a base knock as well. The league leader with that .392 batting average. Looks at the breaking ball to start for called strike 1. Batting from that left side, the lefty-lefty battle, as this curveball misses upstairs, and we'll see how different of a night it could be for Adams going up against the lefty and Fitzgerald.
Adams already doesn't seem to be seeing the ball too well. He went down looking back in that first inning, so obviously he was looking for a pitch and didn't get one. Not sure where that breaking ball missed. Looked like a good pitch right on that low outside corner to Adams, but a good take by Adams. Maybe he is seeing the ball a little bit better in this at-bat.
The 2-1 to Pat, outside corner at 83, called strike 2, so the changeup there working for Fitzgerald, but yes, not a lot of tailing action on it, so maybe it is in fact that 4-seam and he's just taking some off of it. You never know. It was a good point earlier, Leo. As the breaking ball, 72, swung on and missed, second K of the day for Pat Adams, something that we haven't been able to say all that often so far this year.
Definitely not. I mean, his strikeout numbers aren't low, I guess you could say, but Adams usually a guy that puts the ball in play, likes to make something happen, but absolutely fooled on that breaking ball. And how about this? Already 5 strikeouts for Fitzgerald through 2 2/3.
This one back up the middle, and it hits his throwing hand. Oh, that is just...
Never want to see that.
Man. This is a tough situation. I don't know how he's going to be able to get out of this.
Yeah, sometimes you will see the pitcher try to make the play after the fact, but absolutely nothing he could do in that situation to get out of the way or make the play. That's the last thing that you want to see, not only as a fan, just As a pitcher, that's kind of your nightmare out there.
It really is. I mean, I know we've talked about it a little bit. I had the 2 years of experience at the JUCO level, and that was my only fear ever as a pitcher, just that comebacker that you really have no control over. As they're taking a look at his hand right now, right on the palm there is what they're looking at, right in the smack dab center of it. Got to imagine there is definitely going to be some bruising. The question is he going to be able to grip the baseball and continue on in this one? Because obviously Chris Newell wants him to stay in this game as long as possible, but I'm using the binoculars to get an even more in-depth look as he's definitely wincing, and Chris Newell gives him a little love pat on the face, and it looks like he is, in fact, going to end his day. So that's a very, very tough call. So we'll take a break, collect our thoughts here, and let the new guy warm up as we'll take a break. Tough one for the Beavers here as their starter gets taken out of this one a lot earlier than he should have. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We bring you back here in this top of the third inning with 2 outs. Tough ending to the day for Jimmy Fitzgerald. We said to start the day that it was going to be a bullpen staff team effort for Birmingham Bloomfield, but it looks as if it was going to be a good start for Jimmy Fitzgerald. 49 pitches in 2 2/3 innings pitched, but he gets the comebacker right back at him off the bat of Wesley Jones, who gets to second base on a wild pitch here from the new arm on the bump, the right-hander Noah Reed. But we'll get into him here in a second. But Jimmy Fitzgerald, 2 2/3 innings pitched, no runs. The only one hit allowed, it was this one just a second ago back at him. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts for the starting left-hander. A tough end to the day. But we'll see what the right-hander Noah Reed can do as he throws 2 straight balls away and low to Luke Johnson.
Reed comes to us from Cornerstone University, the local product out of Flint, Michigan. Pitched the team best 55 1/3 innings for Cornerstone this past season. And in 2019, no home runs given up, 67 strikeouts to 33 walks. So he did rack up some pretty good relief innings at Cornerstone. And so far this year for Birmingham Bloomfield, as I took a look at the numbers, Reed has a 4.15 ERA, 4 1/3 innings. Walks have been his main problem. He's only given up the 2 runs, but 8 walks to 6 strikeouts. Numbers you don't want to see. So you saw him miss with a couple of pitches, one of them a wild pitch, but now he's got a 2-2 count against Johnson, so back-to-back strikes.
The last one a curveball, this one as well. More low and away, trying to get him to swing and miss with 2 strikes against him, but a better eye from Johnson to stay alive. Work the count full and see if he can drive in the first run of the day for Eastside with Jones on second. Just needs the single to score him. The payoff pitch. Ball misses low, it looks like, at 92 miles an hour. Looks as if that one was down the middle, but it had to have been low as Johnson reaches base safely.
Now that's one that maybe could have gone either way. Home plate umpire gives the benefit of the doubt to Noah Reed. So obviously his walk numbers were kind of high in 2019 at Cornerstone. He had the 33 walks in 55 1/3 innings. Strikeout number is good at 67. But he'll try to limit the walks as much as he can in this outing. My guess is Chris Newell would like to see him go maybe at least 2 or 3 innings at this point in the game. It's tough when you lose your starter in the third. Starts off Huntley with a first pitch strike.
So Huntley down 0-1 to start. Reed, the pitch, curveball, off the end of the bat of Huntley, but it's going to ricochet off of that grass and go into foul territory, so Huntley will stay alive for at least one more as he's down 0-2 here, already 0 for 1 on the night with a ground out to third.
Huntley's had a good start to his career here in the USPBL. 318 average, a home run, 3 RBIs for him. Huntley out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, played his college ball at Indiana State University. 272 over 4 years. Didn't have much power, just 4 home runs, but he's already showed some signs of it here in the league.
This one gets away from Gauthier. A couple of wild pitches so far in this one for Reed, as both Jones and Johnson moving up with ease, but still no runs on the board for Eastside, as you still have the opportunity ahead in this count against Huntley to take him down. The guy who's batting .318 on the season thus far through the first 6 games. This one in the dirt, almost getting away far enough from Gauthier to think about it from Jones' perspective, but he stays home safely just in case.
And if you're the Hoppers, obviously you never want to see any pitcher get injured out there, but you're definitely happy that Fitzgerald is out of the game at this point with the way that he was throwing against them. 5 strikeouts in 2 2/3. You turn the ball over to another relief pitcher and right-handed pitcher, so you're seeing a different arm. But Fitzgerald was very effective against this lineup.
The 2-2, low and away at 93 this time. Another good battle here for a batter against Reed. Back-to-back full counts. Johnson worked the walk. Let's see if C.J. Huntley can do the same thing. The payoff pitch. Fouled off at 92, so a better pitch from Reed this time in the zone. Didn't get the complete result, but better than a walk.
Yeah, he's definitely got the velocity. Couple of pitches at 92. He was mainly used as a closer at Cornerstone. Second in program history in saves.
A deep breath from Reed. The breaking ball. Chopped over there to TJ Ward at third. He gives a little hop and a throw over to first at the other corner. And Huntley is retired for the second time tonight via the 5-3 putout. And they threaten but do not score. We head to the home half of the third. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We welcome everybody back into the home half of the third. Justin Kelly, the slugger of the night thus far, drove in 3 with 1 swing of the bat. Drove in himself, as well as Gauthier and Haffey in that first inning, as fouls off the first try this time around, leading the way for Birmingham Bloomfield in this inning. A line drive over to the second baseman, Geely. Sounded like a broken bat there for Kelly. Not a bad swing, but in the end it goes to Geely for out number 1. Good start here for Goatsies in this third as he desperately needs a quick inning. 39 pitches through 2, the 6 hits, the 5 runs. A night off here for Noah Goatsies as he's not where he wants to be for sure.
As we mentioned before, he had only given up a maximum of 3 runs in any start this season, which he has done in back-to-back starts, but gives up 5 already in this one, and really, it's been the control for him. As we said earlier in the broadcast, Goatsies throws 71% strikes normally, but his command is just not there today, not only with the fastball, but also with his secondary off-speed pitches. His changeup and curveball haven't been there, and he obviously made that mistake pitch as he threw the cutter last time around for Kelly when he went yard, but really it's been command, Rich.
Yeah, Jacob Botek, our home plate umpire, he was at first base last night, kind of squeezing Goatsies in this contest as the 2-1, 75. It drops off. Maselli, the newcomer, ends up swinging right through it to even this count up at 2-2. See if he can get his first USPBL base knock off of Goatsies. Breaking ball misses upstairs. He works the count full, so a good opportunity here for the newcomer. Did ground out back to Goatsies in the first inning, but it was a very hard-hit ball. The payoff pitch, breaking ball, Maselli the victim. In total, just the second strikeout of the night thus far for Goatsies.
And that's a good at-bat there, pitching-wise for Goatsies. Had him down in the count. Or excuse me, he was down in the count 2-0, but comes back, able to beat Maselli in the end on his USPBL debut. 0 for 2 so far. He gives way to TJ Ward. Had that 2-run home run last game in the non-public contest against the Unicorns, but 0 for 1 tonight.
Yeah, first home run of the year for TJ Ward coming this week, so that's a good sign from the Hartford native. Hits one to the opposite field from the right-sided batter's box, but the grounder to Geely retire the Beavers in order in the third. We head to the fourth. It's 5-0 Birmingham Bloomfield. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We're through three here on this WCSX Classic Rock Saturday. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel back with you as Noah Reed in there for his first full inning of work. He relieved Jimmy Fitzgerald, who had his day cut short with a comebacker off of that throwing hand. A tough end to his day as Reed, he threw a walk to Johnson, got Huntley to ground out to third base to end the threat in the third. And they'll deal with Daniel Valerio, Freddie Geely, Tommy Lukongo here in this fourth, as he's already got 2 pitches to the designated hitter, neither of them for a strike. So a good hitter's count for the man who's already got a walk and 2 stolen bases on the night. The 2-0. Broken bat, ends up dropping, and a perfect night thus far for Daniel Valerio. Now the walk and the single to his name. So Geely coming up to the plate, 0 for 1, but hit that ball hard to Alec Oland in right field last time around. Mentioned he was 1 for 3 with a single and 2 walks last night, so he reached base safely in 3 separate occasions as the breaking ball out of the hand of Reed, nowhere close, lost the grip on it as you see him trying to wipe the sweat off with that pant swipe as Valerio over on first. Mentioned already 2 stolen bases on the night. And another liner to right field for Geely. This time it gets down. So the first 2 men on base with back-to-back singles. And we'll see what Noah Reed can do in a tough situation here in this top of the fourth. Nobody out, 2 men on. And all of a sudden that 5-0 lead doesn't seem so comfortable.
And those are some competitive pitches for Noah Reed. Really two pretty soft hit balls, and they just drop in. It's not about how the hit looks. It's about just getting the hits. That's really all that matters. He only had the one hit, which ended Jimmy Fitzgerald's night, which was Wesley Jones's comebacker right to him. But good start to the inning for the Hoppers, who have left 5 on base already. They had some chances to score. Really some base running mistakes has been what's killed them.
Most definitely. They need to be able to knock the bat in or the ball in with runners on. Won't do it here as this one out to Austin Farr in left. Lukongo flies out on the 1-0 pitch. Good job there from Reed to get the out when it was desperately needed. And you mentioned it there, Leo. Already 4 batters left on base, 4 base runners left on base, through the first 3 innings. Hoppers need to start getting some knocks with base runners on. As taking a quick look, 0 for 1 in the first inning. It's this one out into right field. Olin underneath it. He's got a beat on it. We'll see if Valerio tries to go to third with it. A good catch underneath. A good throw toward it. Third, the play at second. Not in time as the runner gets in there safely. Geely with speed is one of his best attributes. Tags from first to second. Obviously with the throw to third, allows him to get over there to second. So a good heads-up base running play there from the Hopper second baseman.
Yeah, that's great heads-up baseball. He puts himself into scoring position for Kevin Watley. A lot better to have runners on first and second with 2 outs. A lot better to have runners on second and third with 2 outs than it is to have runners on first and second, obviously in any situation, but Geely could score on a base hit from Watley.
First pitch called strike 1 to Watley. 2 outs now in this inning after back-to-back singles start it. As this one upstairs at 93, swung on and missed. So quickly 0-2 the count here on Watley. Already 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He saw in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pitches in that strikeout in the third. But could be just 3 here in this third or in this fourth. And in fact it will be, as Gauthier has to complete the strikeout. And he does. The 2-3 putout seals the deal, and the Hoppers leave 2 more on here in this fourth inning in total. 6 on the day. A tough start offensively for Eastside, who put up 8 last night. Nothing so far as we head to the home half of the fourth. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Beatlemania night here at the ballpark. Beavers out in front with a commanding 5-0 lead as they have the 8-9 one-hitters due up to start this home half of the fourth. Austin Farr, Nick Campana, Alec Oland due up for Birmingham Bloomfield. First pitch to Austin Farr, a breaking ball that missed the zone, as the second pitch, a fastball in on the hands, and Farr trying to hold back his lumber could not. He goes through. It evens it up.
Farr's only 4 for 26 so far as he flied out to center last time. Looks like it's going to happen again right here. Pat Adams last time robbed him with a nice catch, which we thought maybe could have gone either way. Could have dropped for a single, and it didn't, but Farr 0 for 2 now.
Pair of flyouts to center for the left fielder. Have him 0 for 2, like you said there. Campana 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That was on 3 straight pitches. And never count the Beavers out, though, no matter how many outs there are, no matter how many runners on base there are, as Campana fouls off the first opportunity this at-bat. It was a flyout to center from Farr, then a strikeout from Campana in the second inning, but then Oland reached base safely on an error. Wiley and Haffey singled to drive in Oland, as this one into center. Pat Adams barely having to take a step, about 2 or 3 to his left, and makes the catch for out number 2 quickly. 2 up, 2 flyouts to center, and 2 down.
And really, Nick Campana continues to struggle. He was the USPBL Player of the Week, like we mentioned, all the way back in week number 2. He was hitting over 400 with some extra base hits, but Campana just can't seem to get it going at the plate. Lineup flips over back to the top for Alec Oland. 1 for 2, has reached base safely twice, though, as Watley committed the only error of this ball game.
So Oland with a good start to this at-bat. Out in front 1-0 from Goatsies. 1-0 breaking ball. Called strike 1, and that's a lethal pitch. Able to throw that in a count where you're behind, that's going to keep you successful throughout your baseball career, as the 1-1 at 88, right down Broadway, but Oland well behind it as he fouls this one off, down 1-2.
And it's too bad that Goatsies couldn't have started his game like this. 1-2-3 inning last time in the third. Looking to go 1-2-3 again. He's got Oland down 1-2, a good chance to do it.
Goatsies looking for strikeout number 3 on the day. Won't get it here as that pitch misses just outside. Good at-bat and battle here for Oland, who's reached base safely twice already tonight. The 2-2. Ground ball over to the left side. Over there is Jones. The throw foot on the run. The play is made. Really nice job there from that young man as a 1-2-3 inning commences for Birmingham Bloomfield in the 4th. We head to the 5th, 5-0. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Yes, the sun is out, and it is all right. Beavers out in front 5-0 through 4, as Pat Adams up there for another one. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts coming into this battle, as he'll start his first at-bat against the new arm in Noah Reed, who comes in for his second full inning of work, replaced Fitzgerald in that third with 2 outs after he got that comebacker off of that pitching hand. We're really hoping that he is okay as the top of the order is up here. Adams out in front 2-0 as he fouls this one over our head to our left. So I'll tell you what, though, if Pat Adams cannot reach base safely in this at-bat, that's when you start to have that wonder. Of course, 22 straight games on base out of the 22 games that the Hoppers have played. Unfathomable numbers, as he's also got that 9-game hitting streak on the line. So a lot at stake here for the Wayne State alum.
It was tough for him against the lefty Fitzgerald. Obviously, the 2 strikeouts. Good hitters count against the righty here.
There it is. 23 games in a row. Pat Adams has reached base safely. Incredible stuff.
Quite the story. He had 3 walks last night, the 1 hit by pitch, and the home run, but just unbelievable. Finds his way on base any way he can. And the Hoppers have had chances to score. They've left 6 on base now. We'll see what Wesley Jones can do to try to get his team on the scoreboard.
23 straight games for Pat Adams on base safely. Brings up number 23, Wesley Jones, as he on the day 1 for 2 with a single and a looking strikeout. Looks at the first pitch of the at-bat, low and inside. Good job from the hitter to work ahead in this count. Mentioned Wesley Jones coming into play tonight, 272 batting average. As Adams over there on first base, he's 3 of 5 with the stolen bases so far this year. The question is when. When is it the right time to have him try and get to second? And also with what? Will you see it a straight steal or a hit and run with Jones? A 2-1 count, not a bad time to try it to avoid a double play.
And we know Nochi, the manager of the Hoppers, likes his hit and run plays. He's been pretty aggressive as far as stolen bases are concerned, as there have been 2 for Daniel Valerio, but Valerio was almost caught off guard, and then we saw kind of a base running blunder back in that second inning that kind of proved to be costly as Congo was caught stealing.
This one, foul. Jones staying alive for at least one more. But a good battle, already 5 pitches here. Adams reaching on the walk.
And Jones has been swinging the bat lately, 6-game hitting streak. Continued that with his single in the third, and he had 3 hits yesterday in 5 tries.
Breaking ball there from Reed, nowhere close, and that allows Adams to get to scoring position with ease. So you don't necessarily need any more hit and run scenario. You're just looking for something that you can put into play, and worst case scenario, if you do get out here from Wesley Jones, you want to make the most of it, take it to the opposite side of the field, and allow Adams to get that much closer to home plate, as what seems as if a tough night for Eastside to bring him on in. The 3-2 fouled off, and it's going to get out of play as Jones will stay alive for at least one more.
And you can see the approaches there, trying to go to the opposite field with that swing, but the inside fastball definitely one that you definitely need to pull, but just fighting it off until he can maybe see a mistake pitch from Noah Reed.
The 3-2. Right side, there it is. So over there to the newcomer, Wiley. He does, in fact, get the put out, but speaking it into existence, he hits it to the right side and does, in fact, get Adams over for out number 1. And I would be very, very shocked to not see a run come in here for Eastside with the 3-4 hitters coming up to the plate, just the 1 down and the runner on third and Adams.
Yeah, they had first and third earlier in the game with just 1 out. They couldn't get it done there. There's no force play in this situation. So a better chance maybe to score with just 1 man on third. Luke Johnson has got the 2 walks so far. Comes in with a .323 batting average, 6 RBIs, and kind of a peculiar stat, but the best hard hit rate in the league, coming in at 62.5%.
I like that. So Johnson hitting it harder than most, but swinging and missing on this 0-1 try. He's quickly down 0-2. Good job from Reed to kind of settle in here in a moment where he kind of came in earlier than he expected, as the 0-2 ground ball will get the run in. Question is, will we get the put out at first? And Ross Haffey, not only can he swing a hot bat, but we've seen this time and time again. He does a lot to help these infielders out with some of these throws in the dirt, as he helps his new teammate in, of course, Anthony Maselli, still getting used to that shortstop position here at USPBL Jimmy Johns Field.
Hey, he's definitely a good scooper at first base. That's what you want to see out of your first baseman. Maybe not the quickest of feet, but able to get it done with the glove. And that's a situation where you will sacrifice the run for the out.
Without a doubt. Up 5. Got to get the out. Conventionally over there at first, as it is in fact done. It's this one right behind home plate into the protective netting. Evens this count up at 1-1 to C.J. Huntley.
T.J. Ward better be on his feet over there at third. Huntley has grounded out to him twice already. He probably remembers that. He's playing pretty close to the line.
Back up the middle it goes. This one, a base knock for Huntley, so a 2-out knock for Eastside. Give them some more life here in this top of the 5th. Daniel Valerio with a good day thus far. A walk and 2 stolen bases in the second, and then a single to start the 4th inning, but he could not come around to score, as 3 straight outs were retained there by Reed in the 4th inning after back-to-back base knocks from Valerio and Geely to start the inning.
Valerio came in with just the 167 average entering the ballgame, 4 for 24 with 3 walks, so 259 on base, but is having that good night, like you said, Rich.
See if he can reach base safely for the 3rd consecutive time. Was 0 for 5 last night with 2 strikeouts. The 1-0. Breaking ball at 78, misses upstairs. So a really good hitter's count as Noah Reed is trying to battle through this inning. As there is, in fact, a Birmingham Bloomfield Beaver out in that bullpen. Looks to be the hometown kid in Gabe Berman. Is this one fouled off into the netting behind home plate. Not sure how long Reed's going to be able to go in this contest, but doing an adequate job, allowing just the 1 run over the 2 1/3 innings pitched. Huntley over there on first, going nowhere. This one popped up. Does it have enough to stay in the field of play? No, it does not, as it will, in fact, hit the first row here behind home plate, off of the cement and into a pair of hands for a nice souvenir for that man over there to our right. The count evens up at 2-2.
Another great night for baseball here at Jimmy Johns Field. We obviously don't have a Sunday contest tomorrow, just a short 3-game week, but we've seen some great games so far this week. In for a pretty good one, as looks like he's going to go down looking.
So Valerio is retired for the first time tonight, as Reed gets strikeout number 2 of his evening. We head to the home half of the 5th. Beavers out in front by 4 now, as Adams comes in to score the first run of the game for Eastside. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning as the Beavers out in front by 4. They got 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and then Eastside with 1 in the top of this inning to claw their way into the scoreboard, as it'll be Wiley, Haffey, Gauthier due up this frame. Goatse's in his 5th inning of work, already 59 pitches under his belt, as the ground ball chopped up the middle. Watley, your 2018 Defensive Player of the Year, makes that one look easier than it should have been, as the first out is made. 1 up, 1 down for Goatse's in an inning that he definitely needs to be short, as he was in the last 2 frames. It was really those first 2 innings that kind of kept him slow rolling through this one, but he's done an adequate job battling back in this game.
He's really settled down. It's too bad that his team has only offered him 1 run of support, but back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Records the first out here. He'll have to deal with Haffey and Gauthier back-to-back, so probably the 2 most dangerous bats in this lineup.
As the breaking ball in there for called strike 1. It's the first time we've seen Gauthier out of the 6th spot in this lineup, and it's obviously proving pivotal here for Chris Newell's team, as he's already got the 1 single and the 1 run scored. Meanwhile, Haffey, who defensively has been an absolute gem, spinning ball after ball over at that first base bag, but also 2 for 2 at the plate with 2 singles, as the 2-1 pitch gets enough of that outside corner for called strike 2. Really good pitch there from Goatse's to even up the count.
And something else we really haven't talked about, Jack Haranek and Adon Ordonez are 2 guys missing from this lineup, so really 2 of the top hitters that have batted in the 1 and 2 spots the past couple of weeks are not in this lineup, and still the Beavers finding a way to get it done.
As Haffey battles back in this at-bat, a 1-out walk, and it's something that I'm trying to figure out, because it's not like they're tired. They haven't played yet at all this weekend, and yeah, something to take note of, most definitely.
Kind of just trying to give him an off night maybe. Haranek and Ordonez were a combined 0 for 9 in the non-public game against the Unicorns on Tuesday, so maybe just trying to reset their mind, and you always need an off day once in a while.
As Gauthier looks at ball 1 to begin this at-bat, if there's one guy you don't want to get behind to in a count against this lineup, it's probably Adam Gauthier, as keeping tabs on Haffey over there at first is Goatse's. So far this season, Haffey doesn't have any stolen base tries, as Gauthier will do everything in his power to put this one in the air. He does so right on cue. Adams barely having to move, and I say that certainly is he took about 1 step to his right, 1 step to his left. Didn't need to go anywhere, as Gauthier puts a good piece of wood on it, but right at the center fielder. So Haffey, the base runner, on with 1 out. Now 2 down as Kelly comes up to the plate. 1 for 2, had that 3-run homer back in the first inning that started the night off hot for Birmingham Bloomfield.
And we talked about the good 3-4 punch in Haffey and Gauthier earlier in the inning, but Kelly backing them up in the 5 spot. Got his first USPBL career home run. Had 11 for Wayne State his senior year, so we're just starting to see what Kelly can do here in the league.
The 1-0 to him. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. And I always love seeing, in 2019 you rarely see it, but I love the old school no batting glove approach here from Kelly.
Definitely.
The 1-1 from Goatse's, that pitch had a lot of late break on it, as it looked kind of dead out of the hand, but had a lot of late break, and because of it, he does get called strike 2. So quickly, Kelly down in this count. The 1-2 pitch, fastball. So a really good job from Goatse's to go back and forth between the off speed and the fastball, back and forth to these guys, as he allows the walk to Haffey, but another sharp inning, 3 in a row for Goatse's. We head to the 6th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We're through 5 here on this Saturday night at Jimmy John's Field. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel back with you. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for Eastside in this 6th, as well for Birmingham Bloomfield in this inning, as it'll be Geely, Lacongo, and Ring. Geely, first pitch, fouls it off. Second, looks at it away, so the count even at 1-1. Geely 1 for 2, singled to right field in that 4th inning, also lined out to right field in the 2nd inning. This time around, it goes to center field as Campana, exiting the shadows into the sun, makes the catch for out number 1.
Next up, the catcher, number 13, Tommy Lacongo.
So here comes my pick to stick for tonight. Lacongo 0 for 1 with a fly out to left, but did reach on a walk back in the 2nd inning. He's batting in the 8th spot last night. If you hadn't heard, he was perfect 2 for 2 with a double, a single, a walk, and a sacrifice flyout that drove in a run. He's got 15 runs scored on the season. That's good for 3rd in the league as he looks at a breaking ball that misses inside. Noah Reed out here for another inning of work. Looking good as he had to replace the starter Fitzgerald way back in the 3rd. He's at 49 pitches at the moment as the 1-0 to Lacongo misses away.
Now, Lacongo also came in 3rd in the league in stolen bases, 4 for 4. He got caught stealing back in the 2nd inning for the first time all year. Good pitch there, 93 on the outside corner to get Lacongo chasing. One of those pitches that's really tough to take unless you're trying to take it the opposite way, which Lacongo does take a lot to the opposite field. I believe at least one of those singles for him yesterday was to right.
The 2-1. Down the middle, but a little bit low, so a good job for Lacongo for the 2nd time tonight. Works the count to his favor. 3-1 for number 1-3 as Reed takes a deep breath. The kick, the push, fastball outside corner looked good, but Lacongo, the veteran catcher, knew better as he records his 2nd walk of the night.
Stephen was a 2-time All-American at Hillsdale College in 2017 and 19. He finished his career as the program's leader in home runs and RBIs.
So as you heard it there from our good friend Johnny G, our public address announcer, the Hillsdale home run and RBI leader, Stephen Ring, standing in the plate, but a lot different conversation in terms of numbers so far in the Eastside uniform as he looks at a breaking ball to start for called strike 1.
I actually watched Ring play his freshman year at Hillsdale when my brother was a senior there, and you could tell right from the get-go Ring definitely had the power in his bat as he tallied 18 home runs this past season, 369 batting average, 505 on base, and did not strike out often as he has in the USPBL. 29 strikeouts in 157 at-bats, so kept the strikeout numbers down in college, but can't seem to do so here.
Takes this one to the opposite field. Austin Farr ranging back, makes the catch with ease as Ring is retired for the 3rd consecutive time tonight for out number 2 with Watley standing in. He also 0 for 2, but he's got 2 swing and miss strikeouts.
Now Watley came into the game leading the team in strikeouts as he came in with 20, now has 22.
Watley showing bunt, trying to do anything to get on base in this situation. Batting average at .227 with those 17 hits so far. Got to do everything in your power to get on base here and keep this inning alive. Lacongo over on that first base bag with 2 outs on the board. Of course, he's going to go on first contact.
Now Watley has 5 strikeouts in his last 6 at-bats, so just trying to put something in play, as he will do here.
Over there to Wiley at second. Gets the force out at that bag. The unassisted putout is made for the 3rd and final out as we go to the home half of the 6th. Beavers out in front by 4. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Rich Borland, Leo Ortzel here with you as the USPBL debut for Anthony Maselli, starting off 0 for 2 with a grounder back up the middle that was hit very hard to Goatsies, but he made the play. And then on a full count, Goatsies got the better of Maselli with a swing and miss strikeout. First pitch, a curveball, as he works his count now to 2-1. Good hitter's count as the Boston College product trying to make a name for himself here at the USPBL, as that 71-mile-an-hour breaking ball swung on and missed by a wide margin there from Maselli. And if you see that from Goatsies, I'd put about every dollar in my wallet that it would be the exact same one. But instead, it's lifted into center field, and Maselli has his first USPBL hit in his career. Keep that baseball and toss it on in.
And we mentioned Maselli's kind of lackluster numbers at Boston College, a career 185 hitter, just 135 in his senior year. It wasn't a huge sample size as Maselli didn't get a ton of chances as far as at-bats go, but you never know what you can do here in the USPBL. He hit 242 with the Evansville Otters, and good to see him get his first hit here.
See what TJ Ward can do to complement it, as you see Maselli there thinking about it, as not sure what was going through the mind there. Just a little excited over there on that first base bag.
Yeah, luckily Lukongo was able to signal verbally to Goatsies to step off, as it looked like he was trying to steal maybe before the pitch was thrown.
Communication is everything, of course, and that's a veteran move there from Lukongo behind the plate. TJ Ward, like you mentioned earlier, had that home run in the non-public game on Tuesday, his first of the year. The 0-1 to him, right on cue. This one up and out of the park. It'll go. Second home run of the week for TJ Ward, and he gives the Beavers now a count at 7. It's a 1 lead.
Great swing, a moonshot for Ward. He had 3 home runs last year for Birmingham Bloomfield. A couple of home runs, like you mentioned, Rich, this week. So great sign. You always want to have power hitters in your lineup, but when it's the 7 hitter showing off his power, that's even better. I mean, this lineup is just absolutely loaded now with power hitters.
And I'll tell you right here and now, TJ Ward is not a 7th in the lineup type of hitter.
Exactly.
He's had a little bit of an off season, as the average at just 260 coming into play today, but I ended up talking with him briefly for a second down on the field prior to this game. Mentioned to him, I was like, hey, heard you had that first home run this season in the non-public game. He was like, yep, finally got one. I was like, let's see another one tonight. So I guess
brought him some luck.
The boat of confidence there to Ward ends up actually ending the day for Noah Goatsies, it looks like. So we'll take a quick break, give you his final line, and when we come back, we'll let you know who's coming in to pitch for Eastside. We'll take a quick break here in this home half of the 6th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Here in this home half of the 6th inning, the Beavers tailing already for 2 runs, courtesy of T.J. Ward. Anthony Maselli with his first USPBL career hit. A single back up the middle led to the 2-run shot for T.J. Ward, his second of the week, which ends the day for Noah Goetzies as Austin Farr stands in now. He on the 0-1 fouls this off right in front of me here in the press box as Goetzies goes 81 pitches, 5+ innings pitched. He allows 6 earned runs, 7 total on 8 hits. Just the 1 walk and only the 3 strikeouts as Farr with a broken bat hits this one just foul. And let's hear about the man who's in for him now on the bump, the D2 college product, the lefty.
Yeah, that's Austin Eisenhart out there for the Hoppers. The lefty, like you mentioned, Rich, he attended Cal Poly Sonoma School in California, Division II baseball. His senior year racked up 93 innings as a starting pitcher, had a 4.16 ERA, pretty low strikeout and walk numbers, 78 strikeouts to 19 walks, so pretty good ratio, able to keep that under control. Starts off Farr here with a good 0-2 count.
So Farr getting a new piece of wood. Austin Farr with a lot of success in his last couple of summers playing with the High Point Thomasville High Toms in the Coastal Plain League, the league hitter of the year last year. And there we go, a base knock into right. He'd been struggling a little bit so far in his professional career, but he finds something there, and that's a tough finish to that battle for the lefty as he had him down 0-2 and left that one a little too much over the plate.
And he's throwing strikes, so obviously Chris Newell and the Beavers will take note of that. He's not afraid to attack the strike zone. Maybe needs to try to get these hitters guessing a little bit more. As I was talking to my brother a couple of weeks ago, he said the toughest part about transitioning from college ball into the professional level here in the USPBL really is pitchers throwing more balls, trying to get you chasing a lot more than college, where you got to rack up a lot of innings in college, especially with short staffs. And guys in the USPBL can, not attack the strike zone as much, try to get you chasing a little bit more, and you're going to see, obviously, a lot better pitchers and hitters in this league than you would see in college ball. So it's different on both ends.
As Campana 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout to center. Looks at the 1-1 pitch as it misses up and away. We'll see exactly what this young man can do, Eisenhart. Down by 6 here in this home half of it, as keeping tabs on Farr at first, of course, is Lukongo. A man who can backpick it with the best of them on a whole lot lower of a level, kind of reminiscent of one of the best to ever do it in Yadier Molina.
That's for sure.
Take notes, kids, as the 3-1 to Campana in there, called strike 2. So a good job from the lefty to battle back in this at-bat. Maybe force Campana to swing at this next pitch, put it into play, maybe get 2 for the price of 1. Farr over there on first. Looks like he's ready to run. Stays put. This one, 89 upstairs, fouled off into the netting. So Campana staying alive for at least one more as he takes a deep breath.
And Eisenhart might not know it as he is obviously making that USPBL debut, but Campana is struggling at the plate. So maybe somehow Paul Nochi told him, or Tommy Lukongo did, that Campana is struggling. You got to attack him in a situation like this.
Payoff pitch inside and low, but it won't be an easy play if it stays fair. The second baseman, Geely, who's got some of the best speed in the league, can't even run that one down over there in no man's land. So Campana gets jammed there, but at least puts it where they ain't. That's the name of the game. Just wants to put it in between the lines this time around.
And just trying to stay alive, waiting for him to make another mistake. Pitch, just like he did to Farr. Kind of left a fastball right over the heart of the plate that Farr took into right. Campana would like to do the same thing here.
It was Eastside who scored early last night and kind of maintained control throughout. And tonight it's Birmingham that's doing it, as Campana, who was ready to walk to first for ball 4, instead rung up on strikes. there by our home plate umpire, Jacob Botek. And that is good enough for out number 1. Campana can't believe it. And maybe a situation where you just saw 3 guys reach base safely, and you give the benefit of the doubt on a bang-bang close call there to the man on the mound.
That's right, and that's one that's just a borderline pitch, but with 2 strikes, it's too close to take. Great job there by Eisenhart attacking the inside part of the strike zone.
So we go to the top of the order now in Oland as this ball in the dirt. Good job from Lukongo to keep it in front of him. Most importantly, to keep Farr at first, far away from second. Oland on the night, 1 for 3. A single, a reach on an error, and a ground out to third. But he's got 2 runs scored out of the 7 as the 1-0 fouled off and into the netting. Good job there from Eisenhart to battle back.
And really it starts with the leadoff hitters. I mean, Oland only with the 1 hit, but like you said, he reached base twice, and the Beavers in that 7-5 loss on Tuesday, their top 3 hitters in Adán Ordóñez, Jack Haranek, and Justin Kelly were a combined 0 for 14. So they scored 5 runs, but really it starts with those 1, 2, 3 hitters. If you can't get those guys on early in the game and throughout the course of the game, then it's really hard to have much success, especially against the top team in the league.
So the San Dimas, California native trying to get out of this tough 6th as the count now 3-1 in favor of the batter Oland. Farr singled on an 0-2 count to start Eisenhart's night, but then he battled back, retired Campana in a tough fight as Campana worked 8 pitches. As on the 3-1, Oland will work the walk. First walk of the inning for Birmingham Bloomfield is Farr now into scoring position.
And not what you want to do in that situation, especially here at the top of the lineup. Justin Wiley comes in 1 for 3. And really going back to what I was just talking about with the top 3 hitters last game, Ordóñez and Haranek and Kelly 0 for 14. Chris Newell knew that he had to shake things up, so you're seeing 3 guys that weren't even in the 1, 2, or 3 slots, Oland, Wiley, and Haffey, and they've done the job tonight. They're getting on base. Oland has reached twice. Wiley has reached once, and Haffey has reached all 3 times. So top of the order producing. That's why they're out to the 7-1 lead in the 7th.
So Wiley looking for his 2nd hit of the day, singled in the 2nd. The 0-1 taken for a ride out to left. It's got a chance. Is that home run number 1 of the year for Justin Wiley? Yes, it is. The former Arizona star gets it done, and the Beavers now with their count at 3rd home run of the night, 2nd of the inning. Now with double digits up on the board, it's all Birmingham Bloomfield in this one.
And Wiley did not miss that mistake pitch. We've seen a few mistakes from Eisenhart, who just can't seem to find the command. Wiley had 5 home runs his senior year at Arizona University, along with a total of 25 extra base hits, a lot of doubles and triples, and Wiley showing off the extra base power right there for his first extra base hit and home run of his USPBL career.
So a good job there. Speaking of good job, Ross Haffey standing in. 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a run and an RBI, and also has a walk to his credit so far. At the moment, the toughest out to get, as he is the only Birmingham Bloomfielder that has reached base safely in all of his plate appearances tonight. Oland that close to it 3 times out of 4. The 2-0 to Haffey. Fly ball to right, but it's going to get out of play. It's 2-1. Mentioned Ross Haffey, one of the guys who joined the USPBL a little bit later. Haffey coming to us from the River City Rascals there in the Frontier League as the 2-1 misses outside. He's a hometown kid, perfectly placed on this Beaver team. He comes to us from Birmingham, Michigan. 2019, only had 17 at-bats in the Frontier League before he came here. Part of the MAC as he went to the University of Miami, Ohio. First team All-MAC his senior year, .315 batting average with 15 home runs and 43 RBIs. Had a .336 career average in 3 years in a conference that is continuing on the up and up. Central Michigan, my alma mater, making it to the college tournament.
That's right.
Not only that, but getting a win there as well when they beat Miami, Florida, which was one of the best moments in Central Michigan baseball history as Haffey continues this fight. Fouls off the 3-1, stays alive here. It's 3-2. The payoff pitch from Eisenhart. Fouled off, stays alive, does Haffey for at least one more.
And actually, the home plate umpire is now saying out. Looks like Lukongo caught it, and I'm not sure what's going on. It looked like Lukongo and Eisenhart both think that the at-bat's going to continue, and looks like it will as the ruling is now changed.
Yeah, first base umpire let his teammate know that that one did in fact drop, but this one didn't, as Haffey will in fact get the strikeout for out number 2. Second strikeout of the inning for Eisenhart, but a lot of hits in between that. The home run from Wiley, the single to Farr, the walk to Oland, as Gauthier trying to get his second hit of the night. Singled and scored in the first. Since then, fly out to right and a fly out to center.
And Birmingham Bloomfield has really used the long ball to their advantage in this one. Kelly started it off in the first with the 3-run shot, and we've seen two 2-run shots in this inning, one for Justin Wiley and one for TJ Ward. Gauthier comes in second in the league, just behind fellow catcher Jimmy Latona of the Unicorns, but Gauthier, catcher with power, he's already got 5 this year.
The 1-1 to Gauthier, outside corner. He tried to take it the other way, but ends up fouling this one off into the protective netting as our good buddy JJ, the field general, joins us up in the booth, panting like he's been working hard all night, which of course he has.
And Gauthier continued his hit streak, now sitting at 9 games, which is good for the best on the Birmingham Bloomfield roster. Longest hit streak by any player on the Beavers this year.
Yeah, Gauthier, he has really stepped up this season. Didn't have a bad year last year, but trying to be one of the faces of the USPBL this time. Is this one right on cue into right center field. A good beat on it from Adams, but it was placed well enough. On Gauthier thinking about 2, but how about the throw from Pat Adams? Gauthier thought that he had it the whole way through, but the good jump right off the bat from Adams, and then he ends up getting the better throw. One hopper from the center field hopper. Gets the third out at second, but the Beavers tally for 5 more here in this 6th. We head to the 7th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Back into the action here as it's 10-1 Birmingham Bloomfield through 6 innings. They put 4 up in the first, highlighted by a 3-run homer from Kelly, and then a 2-run homer from Ward. Highlighted the inning here in this 6th. And now into the 7th, Pat Adams, who reached base safely for the first time tonight in the 5th inning, does so here with an infield single to start the 7th.
And no surprise there. We know Pat Adams has a ton of speed. That one will go as his first hit for the infield single. And Pat Adams now with a 10-game hit streak, I should say. We're sitting at 9, so he's got 2 streaks going for him, on base and hitting, both in double digits.
All Birmingham Bloomfield in this contest tonight, as out there for another inning of work is Noah Reed. He's at 62 pitches already as this one into center field. Campana ranging back, makes the catch as he finds the spot and retires Wesley Jones for out number 1. He has his day at 1 for 4 right now with a single to his credit so far as Luke Johnson coming up to the plate. He's had a good night, 0 for 1 with a ground out that drove in a run. But other than that, 2 straight walks to start his night in the 1st and the 3rd.
And he also had the stolen base. We did mention last time he was up, has the hardest hit rate in the league, 62.5%, which is 15% above any other player in this league.
This one chopped over there to the shortstop, Maselli. Over to Wiley at first, and then over there to Haffey for the 3rd and final out as the inning-ending double play is commenced, and we head to stretch time at Jimmy John's Field. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the USPBL YouTube channel. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel with you here in this home half of the 7th. Beavers' only batter that did not reach the plate in the 6th, due up to start it. That's the designated hitter, Justin Kelly, who had that 3-run homer back in the 1st inning that kind of gave everybody an idea of what we were going to expect tonight as he swings through the 0-1 pitch upstairs. He's quickly down 0-2, but got to mention the new arm on the mound for Eastside. That's, of course, number 9, Joey Beals.
Joey Beals with a small sample size, but you could say he's got the best numbers of any player in this league. 1,000 batting average, kind of a two-way player. College, and he's had 1 at bat, 1 for 1. But as far as pitching goes, he's had 3 appearances this year, 3 2/3 innings pitched, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, so he hasn't really been used much. He's kind of a player that the USPBL, Justin Orndorff, and some of the coaching staff of the Hoppers are trying to work with to get to the next level, but he's got pretty good stuff.
This one taken for a ride out to right center. Pat Adams, time and time again with a great jump on these fly balls to him, makes the catch on the run to his left for out number 1, and that's a tough out in Justin Kelly as Anthony Maselli stands in, had his first USPBL career hit just an inning ago when he started off that long rally in the 6th with a single.
And Maselli also came to us from the Frontier League. He was actually teammates with Ross Haffey for a brief time over in the Frontier League, and teammates once again here for the Beavers.
Got to imagine that that is the connection that got him here, as no matter whether you're down on the field in between the lines or up here in the press box, it's all about who you know in terms of trying to get to the next level, as Maselli on the 1-0 looks at called strike 1. Thrown there from Joey Beals. Maselli now with a bad debut. That single and then the run scored in the 6th made it great. He grounded out hard back to Goatsies in that first inning, but did strike out once. As this 1-1 pitch over there to C.J. Huntley, who barely has to move. 2 flyouts to start this home half of the 7th, 2 down.
And with the way Beals has thrown this year, it's kind of surprising that he hasn't really been used in any high leverage situations, but Paul Noce just trying to kind of ease him in to the USPBL. Beals didn't really have many stats available in college. It doesn't look like he was used a lot as a pitcher. He was more used as a hitter. So he's kind of still a guy kind of like Don Goodson that's still kind of transitioning through a little bit in college, but still transitioning into that pitching role. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him so far, too.
So Ward down in the count 0-1 to start this at-bat. Had the homer just an inning ago when he was down 0-1, but now with the second swing and a miss, it's a quick 0-2. Joey Beals looking really sharp, even though we're not seeing him all that often. Maybe he should more.
Yeah, and the Hoppers are the team with kind of like the least amount of relief pitchers, as Ward flies one out to left. But of any team, the Hoppers have only used about 10 or 11 guys, and most of these teams have used about 15. So they're kind of short-staffed, and a clean 1-2-3 inning for Beals.
So Beals with a good job in the 7th. We head to the 8th, 10-1 Birmingham Bloomfield. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We are through 7 at the ballpark on our WCSX Classic Rock Saturday. We, of course, will end the month tonight as we don't have a Sunday game tomorrow with the 4th of July festivities on tap for next week, as Huntley quickly down in this count 0-2 as he fouls off the 0-1. So far tonight, 1 for 3, singled on a 1-1 pitch back in the 5th inning, but before that was 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to TJ Ward at the hot corner, as Reed with a little bit of a hitch in his delivery there, trying to mix things up, but he misses the zone. It's 1-2. Not a soul getting loose in that bullpen for Birmingham Bloomfield. I'll tell you what, Noah Reedy's done a good job so far tonight, as this one gets away from Gauthier, but it doesn't matter with anybody on base. He came in to relieve the starter, Fitzgerald, back in that 3rd inning, and in total, he has allowed 4 hits tonight, but he's been able to spread them throughout. It was that 4th inning, that 1st inning where he came out and started an inning, gave up back-to-back singles to Valerio and Geely, but got 2 flyouts and a strikeout to the 7, 8, 9 hitters in that 4th inning. Gave up a leadoff walk in the 5th to Adams, but then got 2 groundouts and a strikeout to retire him in the 5th, and then just the 1 walk threat in the 6th inning. And then after a leadoff single in the 7th from Adams, he gets a flyout to center and an inning-ending double play. A really good job after a couple of runners get on base, as Huntley will ground out into the 3-1 putout. The pitcher fielding practice is coming in handy there, as the first batter in the inning is retired.
That Reed just seems to be getting the job done. The Hoppers have had base runners in every single inning, but they just can't seem to get it done like they did last night against the Unicorns. They had the 12 hits. They're keeping the strikeout numbers down compared to last night, as they struck out 15 times out of their 27 outs in the 9-inning contest. But this is kind of like the Hoppers team we saw earlier in the season. They're able to get on base, but they just can't seem to get them in.
Ground ball hit hard to the left side. It won't be an easy play there for the newcomer Maselli, but he makes it as one shortstop retires Daniel Valerio, the designated hitter. But man, USPBL debut, and the glove clearly shown there from the Boston College product. Really nice play there from the shortstop.
Great effort there, trying to get his team their first 1-2-3 inning, which is surprising to say with how the Hoppers have done offensively, just the 5 hits, but a chance to do it against Freddie Geely. Noah Reed try to do his best to get that 1-2-3 inning.
8 base runners left on base tonight for Eastside. It was just the last inning in the 7th where they did not leave anybody on, but it was because of an inning-ending double play. So,
which is just as bad, if not worse.
Exactly my point there is now they're about to be the first time tonight that they're going to get retired 1-2-3 unless Freddie Geely has anything to say about it. 2-0 to Geely, back up the middle. Reed, thankfully he wasn't hit by that pitch, or by that hit, I should say, as Geely hit that one hard on a line back up the middle. Happy to see Noah Reed still standing at that point. It's never an easy conversation because it's not something that the hitter's trying to do and the pitcher at the same time has really no time to react. It's just one of those unlucky instances. We saw it happen once already tonight with Fitzgerald. Thankfully, it was just his hand compared to something worse, but it was his pitching hand, which, I mean, maybe getting hit in the head would be better, as you never know with the extremities, as Lukongo looks at ball 1 to begin the AB.
I mean, it's something that, it's definitely tough to talk about. You never really want to think about it, and kind of when you're a pitcher that's been pitching for so long, it almost becomes second nature to be ready for a comebacker like that. But with exit velocities increasing as well as just pitch speeds from pitchers, we're seeing harder hit balls every single year. Balls hit 115 miles per hour, some of the tops in the majors, and guys are having exit velos in this league around 100 on some hard hit balls. And when you're a pitcher out there, there's nothing really you can do about it. You just got to be ready for it and kind of pray for the best.
As the 2-1 to Lukongo misses away, so he's worked a really good hitter's count in this at-bat. He's already walked twice tonight, and both of them were on 3-1 counts. So for the third time, we see it here to the catcher.
Yeah, not a bad pick to stick. Obviously hasn't really gotten it done with the stick, but hey, he's reached a couple of times. He's put himself in the position to score, but hasn't obviously come around to score. Just one run across for these Hoppers back in that fifth.
A 3-1 to Lukongo in the dirt it is, so the third walk in 4 plate appearances for Lukongo. Not a bad night as Reed continues on in this inning. There is a lefty getting loose out in that bullpen for Birmingham Bloomfield. Not sure exactly who that is at the moment. Trying to get a look at it with our binoculars, and is that who I think it is?
Jerry Salisbury.
No? No, it is a lefty. We've seen it once so far this year. I'll just give you that hint.
Can't guess. Oh,
yep.
Is it Jack Horanek?
It is Jack Horanek.
Yes, okay.
Getting loose. I wanted to see how long it would take you there for a second, but he had that crazy play defensively.
Yeah.
It was one of the top plays of the month.
I think it was the first top play, actually. Kind of hit off his glove. The glove went flying in the air, and then he barehanded it and threw it to first. But, yeah, kind of interesting. Horanek did some pitching in college, the one outing this year. And, hey, why not? Why not throw him in, save some arms for next week? As the Beavers have kind of dealt with some injury problems, something we were talking about during the break. Whether it's been Nick Campana as far as some hitters, but also some pitchers.
So maybe that was the reason that Horanek didn't get the start at first base tonight.
Could have
Said,
been.
we're going to go to the bullpen tonight as he's getting loose at the moment. Reed still in this one as the 2-1 pitch misses up and in to Stephen Ring, the Hillsdale product. 0 for 3 on the night with a strikeout. A fly out to right and a fly out to left as that batting average sits below 100. The left-hander doing anything possible here in this at-bat to give Eastside their second run of the game, but it misses upstairs, and that is walk number, count it, 5 of the night for Noah Reed.
Wow, that's definitely surprising considering that he's only given up the 1 run, and looks like that might be it here for Noah Reed. But overall, I mean, he is going to leave these 3 runners on if Chris Newell makes the switch, so he will be responsible. But got to give credit to the job that Reed did. Coming off the bench, I mean, maybe he knew he was going to be the second pitcher out there as the Beavers were kind of going with that bullpen day, but he obviously didn't expect it. He kind of just had to come right off the bench and warm up. And we'll see if Newell will make the switch.
He did, yep. He just, as you were looking down there, he put the hand up, goes with the left one. So it, in fact, will be Jack Horanek to come into pitch for the second time this season in a Birmingham Bloomfield Beaver uniform. We'll take a quick break, give you Reed's line when we come back. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Sitting here in this top of the 8th inning, bases are loaded for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. It's Kevin Watley standing in now against Jack Haranek, who throws in a whopping 68-mile-an-hour breaking ball to start the at-bat. The Ortonville, Michigan native, the infielder for Birmingham Bloomfield, in his second relief outing of the season, the left-hander throwing nothing but breaking balls to Kevin Watley to start. A look and then a swing and a miss. Quickly, Noah Reed's day is all said and done. 4 2/3 innings pitched, allows 1 earned run on 5 hits. Only had a couple of walks in the outing, but threw 2 to end his day, in total with 5. Had 2 strikeouts as well, as Kevin Watley comes through down in this count 0-2. Hits this one into right field, and everybody moving up 90 feet. Geely in to score, Lacongo to third, Ring to second, and Watley, of course, at first.
Yeah, Haranek is definitely, obviously, a position player here in the league, but definitely no joke on the mound. He pitched at Murray State University for a couple of seasons in 2016 and 2017. His ERA overall 6.53, 81 strikeouts to 49 walks in 102 innings. And his first relief outing this season, he gave up the 1 earned run, 1 walk, but did strike out 2 batters.
He definitely has admirable stuff, at least for a college pitcher. He's a big fella up there and pitching from the left side. Fastball at 86. It's nothing to stare at, but it's at least enough to be respectable here from the left side. But the Hoppers definitely need a lot more run support here to even think about coming back in this contest, as the 1-1 to the hitter of the year thus far, Pat Adams, has reached base safely in 23 straight games to start the year, and also singled in the 7th to give him now a 10-game hitting streak. Longest active one in the USPBL at the moment.
Looks like he's trying to go yard again, just like he did last night. Swings right through the fastball. Look at that.
Swings right through the off-speed pitch at 72 as Haranek gets the strikeout for the 3rd and final out. The Hoppers get 1 run, but not enough to come back in this one. We head to the home half of the 8th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. To the bottom of the 8th inning we go. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel with you, as it'll be Austin Farr, Nick Campana, and then the top of the order, and Alec Oland. Due up for the Beavers here is they don't need any more as they're up by 8. 4 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 5 more in the home half of the 6th. Eastside, meanwhile, a lot of goose eggs up there, just the 1 run in the 5th and then 1 run in the top of this inning, as the count evens up at 1-1 to Farr, 1 for 3 on the night, with a single up the middle, and also flew out twice to center to Pat Adams. Joey Beals out here for another inning of work. Off-speed pitch at 74 forces Austin Farr to be out in front of that one, as the first baseman, Stephen Ring, ends up making that one look a lot closer than it should have been, but Farr, in the end, is out via the 3U putout.
And Beals has done a nice job since coming in. Till the 1-2-3 inning back in that 7th. There was a couple of long fly balls. Justin Kelly and TJ Ward giving some balls some rides, but Beals definitely has a good fastball. Will kind of try to continue to work on his off-speed stuff to back up the fastball, but we're seeing Beals touch 92 and 93 as he deals in 75-mile-an-hour breaking ball to start Nick Campana out in this at-bat.
Campana 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts, 1 via the swing and the miss, 1 via the look. In between those 2, flew out to center back in the 4th inning. As I'm liking what I'm seeing from Joey Beals, seems like he's got that demeanor on the mound of a pitcher, as this one fouled just left of that left field line, as it'll drop, but it won't stay fair for Campana. He's trying desperately to get a base knock here.
He's really been struggling with the stick lately. Slowed down a ton since that Player of the Week honor back in week number 2.
The 1-1 to Campana misses up and in. Mentioned no game tomorrow, as we have the Sunday off with the festivities coming up, of course, with the 4th of July next week. Campana did not play in that game on the 25th, where the Beavers lost to Utica. And Campana won't get any base knock here, but he does reach base safely on the hit by pitch.
And Beals actually had hit 2 batters coming in 3 2/3, so a couple of walks for him. Hit batters. Still working out those control issues, but really hasn't had a lot of innings out there yet.
The first pitch to Olin, a slider, it misses at 74 as we go back to the top of the order for Birmingham Bloomfield in this contest. Beavers with the double-digit tally in this contest. This one, a liner to right field. Right on it is Luke Johnson. Makes the catch for out number 2. Staying put at first base is Campana. Taking a quick look through the season schedule. The Beavers back on the 20th of June put up a 10 spot, but it was in a loss to these Eastside Diamond Hoppers, 14-10.
That's right.
And then going even back further down the road, looking to see if Birmingham Bloomfield has put up double digits in any other game. And looking through, they've scored 9 runs in 2 separate games. Other than that, looks as if they have not gotten 2 double digits so far this year. So the second time that they have done so, but for the first time they're looking for a win, as they lost to the same team here, the Hoppers, by 4 runs when they put up double digits. Last is this one. Down the line, it stays just fair as Wiley coming up clutch here in this home half of the 8th. Gets the double, and he's looking certainly like our player of the game. He's just a triple shy of the cycle.
He had the single in the 2nd. Now the double in the 8th. 2-run shot, of course, back in that 6th inning. The top of the lineup has really gotten it done for this team. Like I said, 0 for 14 combined. 1, 2, and 3 hitters on Tuesday. But Chris Knoll completely changes it up, goes with Oland, Wiley, and Haffey, and they've really done the job. Haffey has reached base 3 times, a couple of singles for him and a walk. Wiley, of course, has reached 3 times. Oland also reached 3 times, so hats off to this top of the order that's gotten it done.
As we hear fireworks going off in the distance on this weekend prior to the 4th of July coming up. We saw a lot of fireworks today. The home run from Kelly in the first, and then 2 home runs in the 6th inning from TJ Ward and from Justin Wiley have provided the pop for Birmingham Bloomfield tonight, as Haffey on the 0-1 looks at this pitch in the dirt. It's even now, but a good job from Joey Beals in this contest. Had a perfect 7th with 3 flyouts. Then outside of the hit by pitch to Campana, going into that at-bat to Wiley, he was looking really sharp. Did give up the double, but most importantly so far, no runs allotted in a situation that you definitely don't want to give any more up as a team. Haffey, though, a tough out to get as he's ahead of him 1-2 is Beals. And looked like he might have went around, and in fact he did, according to our home plate umpires. So the 3rd and final out is recorded for the Beavers in the 8th. We head to the final frame. Hoppers need at least 8 to keep this one alive, but they have the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Into the 9th inning we go. Beavers out in front with a commanding 8-run lead over Eastside, as it'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Jones, Johnson, Huntley due up as the first pitch to Jones misses, and then on the 1-0, a chopping ground ball. It's foul near the manager, Nochi.
And we're seeing some pretty good off-speed stuff here from Horanek. The last pitch coming in at 66 miles per hour, and it's just something that hitters don't typically see from this distance. You might see that in batting practice, but not with much movement on it. So it's a good approach here for Horanek to be using that curveball quite a bit.
So he's behind the count, 2-1 here to Jones. The leg kick, the push, fastball at just 82. In on the hands, though, enough for Jones to make contact, but only one place you can put it, and that's to the left of the third baseline.
And if he's out in front of 82, why not go back to that 66-mile-an-hour breaking ball? See what he can do.
Instead, goes back to it as this one over to the right side. Horanek, normally the first baseman, going over there as the pitcher to record the putout via the 3-1. Guy who can do just about anything in a Beaver uniform, getting it done on the bump tonight, and loving what we're seeing from him. Never know when your time will be called to do something that you're not used to doing, and Horanek, I mean, for the most part, used to it in college, but not here in a Birmingham Bloomfield Beaver uniform, just the one outing in relief so far, but doing an adequate job here tonight trying to close the door as Luke Johnson stands in, looks at a breaking ball that was nowhere close.
And the Beavers only had one other game this week, but they did have to use 4 relief pitchers as Crispin, the starter, back on Tuesday against the Unicorns. Obviously the non-public game like we've mentioned time and time again, but they had to use 4 relievers in that game. Chris Newell, the manager of the Beavers, figuring, hey, let's go with Haranek. Let's save some arms for next week. So they're rested up. It's another short week next week, but looks like it's going to be extra bases for Johnson as he sends one over to the left side. Huntley with the cut throw in.
So the Hoppers not going away dead silent as Huntley will come up 1 for 4 with a single and 3 groundouts. So you hear 3 groundouts. If Johnson was on first, could be thinking about an inning-ending double play, but won't be the case with the 1-out double. Haranek on the bump. The breaking ball, there it is at 69 miles an hour in there for called strike 1 from our home plate umpire, Jacob Botek. There is one arm getting loose in that bullpen, kind of standing at the moment now, not really loosening up anymore. Looked to be Gabe Berman that was tossing a little bit in there at the same time as Haranek, but Haranek's got Huntley down 0-2.
Kind of just a precautionary thing in case the game seems to be getting out of control, but Haranek has done a fine job since coming in. Allowed the single to Watley, which did drive in the run, but that run not credited to him.
Huntley hits this one deep into left center field. Campana backtracking. He does have a good arm as this one one-hops to his former college teammate Ward over there at third base. A really good throw, but too deep to retire Johnson at the third base bag, but all of a sudden the Hoppers down to their final out.
And it's just been another one of those nights for the Hoppers. They can't seem to get it going with the bats. So many runners on base in this game. 8 hits isn't too bad, and a lot of walks as well. But in the end, they just can't drive in runs. That's what it takes.
I was listening to the Detroit Tigers broadcast on the way to the park here today, and they had the anniversary of the 1984 team.
That's right.
And they were talking pregame with one of the former players. I didn't happen to catch the name as I listened in mid-interview, but ended up talking about how, you know, there's a difference in being able to hit successfully and then being able to hit successfully in clutch situations when you have runners on and having kind of that different edge to your game. And Eastside unable to have that tonight as Valerio, he's got a walk and a single so far as the breaking ball enters the back door for called strike 2, and quickly Eastside down to their final strike. Jack Haranek trying to shut the door. The 1-2, he went around as the batter Valerio could not hold back, which means the Beavers end up winning this one by a final score of 10-2. They were out in front throughout the entire ball game, and honestly, not the story that we expected looking at the numbers coming into tonight. Eastside with the 8 runs last night. They had their guy Goatsies on the mound, but in the end, it was the Beavers who were able to execute tonight with the 3 long balls and then a good staff outing. Fitzgerald started it, and his day was cut short because of the injury. And then in the end of it, you had Reed going, and then, of course, Haranek here getting it done for Birmingham Bloomfield. As overall not a bad night for Chris Newell's team, who was desperately looking for a victory. As in total, taking a quick look, they only had the 9 wins on the season, but they finally get to double digits.
And the Beavers did exactly what they needed to do. They'll move to 500 with a 10-10 record with 3 really main things that you got to do. Throw strikes, hit in the clutch, make the routine plays. That's exactly what they did. You mentioned the 3 home runs, of course. Those going to Justin Wiley, his first USPBL home run, as well as Justin Kelly's first USPBL home run. TJ Ward tallies his second of the season, a 2-run shot. It was 3-run shots for Kelly and Wiley. That's really all they needed. Also, Ross Haffey and Alec Oland producing well towards the top half of this lineup, but Chris Newell definitely has to be satisfied with that win and the way his team has been playing lately. As we take a look at the standings, Birmingham Bloomfield moves to 10-10. Eastside drops to 10-12, but really tight knit here. Utica 13-10. Westside, obviously they've been hot lately, but they are 10-11. We kind of have a shortened week next week, but a lot of festivities obviously coming up with that All-Star game and Home Run Derby. That'll be on Saturday, but before that, on Thursday, the Hoppers will battle the Unicorns on the 4th of July, another Thirsty Thursday, and then be sure to join us on Friday as the Mammoths will take on the Beavers on the 5th, another fireworks spectacular as well as a Fat Tire Friday. But don't miss Saturday's All-Star game and Home Run Derby presented by Rawlings. It'll be another WCSX Classic Rock Saturday and also a family campout. So come out, camp out after the ball game on the field. So really cool weekend coming up, but another great game here tonight, Rich.
Yeah, overall, Birmingham Bloomfield's power, the story